Hey everybody, G.kenner, really good to see you today. We're going to do something a little bit interesting. I went to a community career day at a high school, and I'm going to tell you a story about that. And somebody wanted me to relate this. They thought that it could help some of my viewers. But first, we're going to talk about this laser. And you'll notice that I blocked off the name of the manufacturer. When I started into the laser, I'll call it business, or wanted to buy a laser, sharing this information with you guys, what happened was I wanted a laser so that I could do engravings on hardwood like this, logos for my cutting boards and the different things that I made. So I saw a 20-watt laser, and then I found out that to get it, it was going to take me a period of time. I started to talk to the company. We were texting or chatting on their website back and forth, and they found out I had a YouTube channel, and I said, you know, if you send me the 20-watt laser, I'd review it. That was, you know, I've reviewed all my tools. I'm not sponsored by anybody. So they offered me, they sent me the laser, I purchased it, and then they offered me an opportunity to put an affiliates link on the videos that I've produced. I've made a couple $100. Why not? And I've told everybody, you know, in the writing and in the conversations, there are affiliate links. If you want the channel to make a little bit of money, that's fine. Well, when the laser company started to come to me, I told them if I didn't like their laser, that I would just offer to let it be returned. Well, each one that I have reviewed has been satisfactory, and I would have purchased them, all of them in different price ranges. Now, I've put them all in my Amazon store. So you can go down and you can see each one of them and the value, how much each one of them costs. So I tried to find the best price when I put the influencer store together. And you can do that, or you can watch all of the reviews in the playlist that I have here on YouTube. Well, this one's not going to make it in. And there's a couple of reasons. One is when it arrived, it didn't have the proper drivers necessary to run on Lightburn, and it was advertised to run on Lightburn. It took a period of a few weeks to get this straightened out. When I finally got a hold of the right people, we did a Zoom call on a free Zoom chat. It went 10 minutes, and coming in from China, it disconnected after 10 minutes. We had to reconnect. That just doesn't point to the quality of customer service of the company that I actually bought from. I wouldn't really want to recommend that anyone get involved, you know, with a company that can't even afford to have a Zoom. So I did some engravings to see whether it would work after I finally got the right drivers installed. And this was done in Lightburn. You know, here was one that I did that was really good. There too. Now, there's on this corner where the laser first started firing, it was much stronger at the beginning and then faded off. And I had these with the same percentage of power settings that I had done all of the other diode lasers with. Now, each diode laser is going to be a little bit different. You're going to have to do a couple tests, but this one, the line variant in it, it was set so that, and I changed this a couple of different times in tests, it still every time left a striation, a long unburned portion in the pattern, and that's just not acceptable. I couldn't hand this to somebody as a commercial product. And each one of them that I have reviewed, if it wouldn't make something that I would be proud to hand somebody as a commercial product, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, this machine is about the same value as this new Monport 40-watt CO2 laser. Now, this just arrived. As many of you know, I'm going to buy a more expensive CO2 system. Well, this has basically all the working features, but of course, at a $600 price, it's not going to be a $10,000 laser. But all the functional parts are here. You know, you can only put a very small piece inside this. So, you know, you're going to be kind of limited, but as a learning tool, this is now available and runs on Lightburn. Most K40s run on proprietary software. So you are not getting the experience of learning Lightburn. That's one of the nicest things about these lasers. If you learn on light burn and you move up, you haven't lost the knowledge base that's necessary to continue learning. Okay, so my friend Alex asked me to accompany him to a career fair at a high school in Paris, California. When I got there, we were having lunch, and one of the counselors asked me, she says, why, were you so successful in business? And I said, well, because I had some, I'll call it street creds in real estate before I decided that I didn't want to do real estate anymore. I was going to retire. And I told her a story, and it's a sales story, and one that I had heard a long time ago, and it's about thinking, and it's about the approach you take. And if you're if you're looking at the laser business, this applies to everything. So let me just jump into the story. And it's my understanding this is a true story. There was a glass manufacturer. They made glass panes for panels for glass doors, that type of thing. And they'd come up with a glass that was unbreakable, or they advertised it as unbreakable. And they were a large company. The salesmen were all very happy, and it was hard to get a job there. Well, somebody had retired, and they decided they were going to hire a new college kid. College kid comes in, and he's all ready to go. He's a hard charger, and he goes out and he starts selling glass. Well, they're watching his sales numbers, and all of a sudden there's a huge percentage jump of who's selling the unbreakable glass, and the college kid's doing it. So they pull him into the office, and the old gruff sales manager says to him, how are you doing this, kid? How are you selling that glass? What are you doing? And in the inquisitive nature of the boss, he thought he was in a little bit of trouble. Well, he brought his briefcase in with him, all of his catalogs, and he opens it up, and he pulls out a sample piece of the unbreakable glass, and he puts it on the table, and then he pulls out a hammer and hits the glass. Salesman, whoa, what's that? And he says, well, that's how I saw the glass. And he says, okay. Well, they let him go. It was such a phenomenally good idea that they took, and at their next quarterly sales meeting where they bring all the salesmen together, they go into the room, and there's a piece of the glass and a hammer sitting in front of each one of the salesmen. And of course, they make a demonstration. The sales numbers for the glass just skyrocket. Well, they follow the college kid's numbers as they follow everybody's, sales through the receipts, and this kid's values jump up again. He's another couple 100% above all other salesmen. And they pull him in, and he says, yeah, you got me last time, you got my idea. He says, are we talking bonus? So they said, well, let's talk about it. So this time he opens up his briefcase, he puts the piece of glass, he takes the hammer out, and hands it handle first to the sales manager. And what he had just done was he'd made the demonstration a personal demonstration where the buyer was participating. They controlled the force that was used on the glass. And it was, next thing you know, they share it industry-wide or company-wide, and off the sales go. Now, what does that really mean? It means if you're going to go into the laser business, CO2, diode, whatever you're going to do, you may want to think of it a little differently, because there's several companies that are manufacturing these. I think this is my 6th review, and I have 2 more lasers, and I think I'm going to have really good luck with one of them that's down there that I'm going to share with you guys. I bet those 2 make it onto the list. This one's just not going to. They can have their laser back, or I will give it away to somebody. Each one of the lasers I have given away. I even have paid, and to put something in a 24 by 24 box and ship it across the United States, it's about $100. I know, I have the receipts. If there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. I just made friends with somebody in a distillery in Montana. They called me and they wanted to know whether or not I would purchase, this size laser or this size laser, meaning a bigger one. And they wanted to engrave bottles, and they had seen my beer bottle video. They must have thought it was pretty funny, and I would address it with them. I will. If you write me an email and you want to talk to me, we'll set up a time to have a call. I'm happy to do that. I'm very open and available. I'll answer my phone, and I'll try and keep some of these little sales messages going. I shared one with him about Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. He once said, if you can get through on the phone to me, I want to talk to you because you could be the next person to buy one of my franchises. I take all my calls that come in. This I'm really excited about. This is my first venture into CO2. If you haven't, please go watch the process that I'm going through in buying a CO2 laser. I'm right around the corner from picking the machine that I'm going to buy. I want to get that and get it in here as quick as possible. I'm tired of procrastinating, but with this arrival, this is going to give me a lot more experience in setup and use of CO2. So when my good one gets here, I'm going to be ready. Everybody have a very good day. If I can help you, let me know. Thank you.